It doesn't announce itself with loud warnings or obvious signs of distress. Instead, it slips in through the everyday moments of a childhood that looks normal from the outside. You're perhaps 8 years old, and the house is filled with the usual sounds of daily life, but none of them are for you. You wake up to the sound of your own alarm clock, one that you set the night before because no one else is going to make sure you get to school on time. You pour yourself a bowl of cereal, maybe add some milk if it's there, and eat in silence at the kitchen table. Then you pack your school bag, check the weather, and head out the door, remembering to lock it behind you. When you come home in the afternoon, the house is empty again, so you start your homework, make a snack, and perhaps even start dinner if the adults are running late. There are no questions about how your day went, no one to share a laugh with or to turn to when a bully said something mean at recess. You handle it all yourself, learning early that waiting for support is the same as not getting it. This is how a child begins to raise themselves. It's often not the result of outright neglect in the legal sense, but of emotional absence. Parents might be physically present but mentally elsewhere, dealing with their own stress, depression, addiction, or simply the pressures of life that leave little room for attentive parenting. Siblings might be younger and need more care, or perhaps you're an only child in a home where everyone is too busy surviving to truly connect. Whatever the circumstances, you stepped up because someone had to, and that someone became you. You developed a keen sense of responsibility, a quiet resilience, and a way of navigating the world that made you seem far older than your years. Friends' parents would comment on how mature you were, how self-reliant, how impressive it was that you could take care of things without being told. But behind the praise was a hidden truth. You were forced to grow up too quickly, filling a role that should have been filled by the adults around you. As time went on, these early experiences shaped the way you interacted with the world. You learned to be hyper-vigilant, always anticipating needs, your own and others, so that nothing would catch you off guard. You became the one who remembered birthdays, who made sure the bills were paid, who offered a listening ear to friends in crisis while keeping your own struggles private. Vulnerability felt dangerous because, in your experience, showing it led to being overlooked or having to comfort the very people who were supposed to comfort you. So, you built walls, not out of anger, but out of necessity, to protect the tender parts of yourself that never got the chance to be soft. Now, as an adult, those patterns continue to influence every area of your life. You find it difficult to relax completely because your mind is always running through the list of things that need to be done. Rest feels like a luxury you haven't earned, and taking a break often comes with a wave of guilt, as if you're shirking a duty that only you can fulfill. In relationships, you tend to attract or choose partners who need support, because being the caregiver is the role you know best. You give and give, often to the point of exhaustion, because receiving feels foreign and even a bit scary. The idea of someone taking care of you can trigger a deep-seated fear that the support will disappear just when you start to rely on it. This hyper-independence, while admirable on the surface, can lead to isolation. You might have many acquaintances, but few people you truly let in, because letting someone close means risking the pain of being let down again. Your body, too, carries the weight of those early years. The nervous system that was constantly in survival mode during childhood doesn't easily switch to rest mode now. You might notice chronic tension in your neck and shoulders, frequent headaches, or a digestive system that seems to react to stress in unpredictable ways. Sleep might be elusive, or you wake up feeling as though you've been on guard all night. These are the physical manifestations of a childhood where safety was never guaranteed, where you had to be the one to create it for yourself. Trauma researchers explain that the body keeps the score, holding on to the stress even when the mind tries to move forward. This is why many people in this situation seek therapy or somatic practices to release what words alone can't touch. But the story doesn't end with the challenges. The child who raised themselves develops an extraordinary inner strength. You learn to be resourceful in ways others might never need to be. You know how to find solutions when resources are limited, how to offer compassion from a place of understanding hardship, and how to keep going when things get tough. That resilience is a testament to your spirit. It carried you through years when no one else did. However, true healing comes when you allow that strength to be complemented by softness. It involves learning to ask for help without feeling weak, to accept care without suspicion, and to let go of the belief that you must always be the one in control. The turning point often arrives when you start to reparent yourself. This means treating your inner child with the patience, encouragement, and love that was missing. You might begin by journaling about your feelings, allowing yourself to feel sad or angry about the past without judgment. You practice saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that nourish you. You seek out communities or relationships where mutual support is the norm, not one-sided giving. Over time, these practices help rewire your nervous system, teaching it that it's safe to be vulnerable, safe to rest, safe to be cared for. In the end, you come to understand that you didn't fail at childhood. The adults in the environment around you failed to provide the secure base every young person needs to thrive. You were never too much or not enough. You were simply asked to do too much too soon. Now, as an adult, you have the power to change the story. You can be the consistent, loving presence for yourself that you always craved. You can model for others what healthy interdependence looks like. You can finally experience the freedom of knowing that your worth isn't tied to how much you do or how little you need. You get to raise the child within you now with gentleness and consistency, and in doing so, you break the cycle, creating a future where no one has to grow up too fast again.